We are back with another episode of Middle Age Mamas. We have the wonderful Kathy here to fill us in on her career, her marriage, her kids, everything middle age, and more. But before we get to that, Kathy. All things Kathy.
Oh my.
Why do we look like the Misfits and the Prairie Ladies?
Right?
Well, but look at me. I
They're
know.
on the wrong side of the tracks.
I know.
Yes.
We look like we're going down to the prairie.
Let's
And
go.
they look like the cool shit.
We have on our t-shirts. But I'm representing from our mutual friends, the two cousins.
Two cousins.
And they are actually working on our merch for
merch
middle
collection.
age
Yay.
mamas. So be on the lookout for that. But I have my beautiful, and we talked on the last episode about voting. In case you wondering who.
Where do you stand on that, Dawn?
In case you're wondering.
I'm a little unclear.
In case you're wondering.
She's there in all her glory.
Yes.
And check out the two cousins, and they have jewelry and all these cool shirts.
Yeah, it's a good
In
shirt.
different color
Shout out.
collaborations.
Yes, for Greek and whatnot. Hi, Cecily and Leslie. Mwah.
Smooches.
Yeah. So let's start with a little bit of I'm too old for this.
Mm-hmm.
What you have, Dawn?
Ooh, why you put me on the spot first?
Because you're ready.
'Cause you got your red
ready.
wine, that's
you
why.
came ready to go today. So let's hear it.
You got that dog liquor.
I came ready because I started off at brunch this morning.
Okay.
Amen.
I met a friend for brunch, so I've already have libations.
Okay.
But what I'm
you're
too
mixing your
old
drinks.
for, this damn traffic. Why? On a Sunday.
Right?
Are all these people going to church?
No. They're
The
going to
405.
brunch.
I don't
You're on
think
that
they're going
405.
They going to brunch like me. It was so lovely, and I went to. I always love promoting our Black-owned businesses. So I was at Post and Beam.
Okay.
That's a good word.
In
Yes.
the Crenshaw Mall, everybody in there was Black. It was so lovely.
Was it nice?
Like, it's so rare, even especially when you go to soul food restaurants, because a lot of white people like to they like to go get their soul food foods. They don't even know when it's not the right soul food. But they will.
I'll drink to that.
They will support. And so it was so delicious. I had a Bellini and I had shrimp and grits, and I know how to cook. And I'm always making. My son will always ask her for grits when he comes over.
Yes.
They'll have a full-on spread that William cooked because Nakia doesn't cook.
It'll be looking for the
full-on-
grits.
Just putting you on
A full-on
blast.
spread, and then my son will say, "Where are the grits?" Like, I know you got pancakes and eggs and waffles and crepes.
Yeah. But where
He's
the
like,
grits?
I love it.
But where the grits? So I had shrimp and grits.
Ooh.
And then I was rushing to get here in traffic.
Yeah.
Rushing to get there and rushing to get. I am too old. And it's not just the traffic. It's what happens to my knees.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Trying
My
to get out
hips.
the car.
And then you got to get out the car.
That's right. With your
And-
cane and
Yeah,
walker.
yeah, okay. And so I'm not just walking like a middle-aged mama. I'm walking like a little old lady. I gotta like shake it off.
Mhm. Stretch.
Yes. So that's what I'm too old for. Traffic on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
Amen.
It's
For
very
no
unpredictable.
reason.
Mhm.
For
Yeah.
no reason at all.
Yeah. Welcome to LA.
All
What
right.
do you have, Kathy?
I'm too old to learn a new language, which my children are talking. What's sus? I know it's sus, like
Oh.
suspect, but
Talking about
You
slang.
I can't. I'm just like,
Urban
just like,
dictionary.
oh man, that's dope. I'm like, Mom, that's a drug. I'm like, no.
No, it's not.
Like, I can't. My son is texting me. I'm like, I feel like it's Braille. Like, will, they just do this? Will that make it transfer better? Because I don't know what you're saying.
Right.
And
Right.
it's hard enough just like, to stay up and be that cool mom.
Right.
But now I gotta learn a whole nother language. And I'm like, not feeling it. I'm not feeling it.
Yeah, we get the same language over here.
Right.
But you just got to pick a day and have them run through all of it.
Yes.
And then try it on them. And, then,
And they're like, Mom, don't
Then that's
say
when
it.
they'll
Yeah.
stop. That's
Right.
when they'll
Yeah.
stop.
You
yeah,
sound,
because
you
once you
sound
start
bad,
acting
Mom.
cool.
You sound
yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
That's when they'll stop.
I got a kind of a reverse. I'm too old for this
Oh.
because last weekend was my sister Tina's 53rd birthday.
Yeah, she was so
Hey.
And my
good.
sister, let me tell you, she is so fun all the time. She's the life of the party, always has been. Her daughter's now the same way.
Ooh-wee.
But she's every year celebrates. It's not like, the 50 or 51 or, 50, 45. every year she has something, whether it's at her house, wherever it is. So this year she had a party at a lounge, but it turned into a club kind of.
Okay.
And so normally I'm in bed by like 9:30, 2 o'clock. I'm always cozy in the bed. And I've taken on I'm too old to be out, all hours of the night. I've taken that on. Well, last weekend, we were not too old.
Okay.
We were turned up. I danced all night with my sister. And she can go on and on and on. I'm going to show you the video later. She was in the middle of the dance floor. Everybody, go Tina, it's your birthday. So I wasn't too old that night, and we had the best time. We didn't get in until like 2:30 in the morning.
Oh my goodness!
But it was so much fun.
How'd your body feel afterwards?
Fine. I was good.
Then you must not have been dropping it.
See,
No.
I would still be on the
I was
dance floor.
not.
Somebody help me!
I wasn't dropping it, but I had my 2-step, and I was having a good time.
All right.
What about you, Camila?
Oh, my too old is for real too old. Like last week I had a medical procedure, and after the medical procedure I'm not supposed to like do any exercise, and I'm always like exercising and moving around. But I just noticed that without exercising for this last couple of weeks, I am stiff as a board. And not to mention, because of the medical procedure, they had to like do some like invasive stuff or like put something down my throat. And I don't know if that was also the cause of it, but I feel like this table, like I'm so stiff, my back hurts, my like walking, I have to like literally make a conscious effort to stand up straight instead of walking over like an old lady. But I have to take it easy for like at least a month and a half, so I can't even go back to the gym and like do like any of my stretches and any like yoga or anything like that. So I'm really looking forward to that like in the future, but I'm old. I feel old today.
But once you get back into it, then you'll go hard and stretch.
Yeah.
Do some Pilates.
You'll get the
all
pool.
of that.
Start in the pool first.
Cracked and all that stuff. I feel better.
Yeah, because you can go hard.
I really do feel old.
Well, you don't look old. You look fabulous.
You sure do. Sure do. Effervescence.
Well, so our special guest today, Miss Kathy. She is my girlfriend. We are in a mommy group together. It's way more fabulous than just a mommy group, but
that's right.
We are in a mommy group together. She is the president. She has 3 children and is an amazing singer professionally, and can just at the drop of a dime just sing. Do you remember when we were out at happy hour and my dad called me? It was his birthday.
Yes,
he was calling me back, and she sang happy birthday to my dad, like in the middle of the bar.
Right. Well, alcohol makes you do things sometimes.
Alcohol will make you do things. But she is joining us today, and on the same note of I'm too old for this, we're going to be talking about some things that you never knew, nobody ever talked about, as far as being a mom, being a spouse, being just a middle-aged person. We all have so many stories of nobody ever told me this. So what are some of your surprises that came along with motherhood?
We need a whole round of beverages to really get into everything. I remember the first moment, when you're pregnant with your first child.
How many children do you have?
3 children.
3 children.
My oldest is 22, middle is 20, about to be 21, and my youngest is 16.
Yeah, okay.
And
almost an empty nest.
Almost, girl.
Almost.
If they would eventually leave.
If they leave. See, we just talked about
if
that.
they leave.
They don't leave no more.
I was pregnant with my first child. You hear about morning sickness, but I had anytime sickness.
Right.
It wasn't
you were
morning.
Sick the entire time.
Oh my God. I lost 40 pounds because I was vomiting every day.
Do you know that sickness? Because Alexis had that too. I have a friend that had that too.
Yeah, it was. My doctor looked at me like, "What's wrong with you?"
Wow.
And I'm like, "Aren't you supposed to tell me? I don't know." They're like, "Well, you already." You already plus size, whatever you want to call it.
My goodness.
Overweight, obese.
They so wrong.
It's called curves.
Yes, it's called thick.
And that part. And so, you know, they were like, well, you know, you might need to watch out for gestational diabetes. I'm like, I can't keep anything down, bro. I'm not
Wow.
gaining a pound. It was all baby. And I didn't know how absolutely debilitating and lonely that experience was. Because, you know, new wife, new marriage, you know,
Yeah.
I'm at home by myself. I had to stop working because I would be driving to work and vomiting in the car.
Oh.
And
And
that
all over
lasted the
myself.
whole pregnancy?
It lasted the whole pregnancy.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness.
That has a
The
name. I don't know the
whole
name of
pregnancy.
it, but it's a thing in it.
Did they
Yeah.
tell you the name of it?
No,
And they didn't give you medicine to stop it?
no.
I don't think there is.
I don't
anything.
think there, you know, the smell of food,
Yeah.
especially healthy steamed broccoli, makes you want to yak fresh chunks in the morning.
my
Now, can you eat broccoli now?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I was
I
gonna say.
couldn't eat
sometimes-
cabbage after the last baby because the last baby was a C-section and nobody tells you what the hell to expect with a
Oh,
C-section
my
because it was
God.
emergency C-section.
Oh,
Right.
But you know, the vomiting and all that good stuff. But it's about that moment after you've pushed your hair. I looked like I was Samoan. My nose was from here to here.
Ooh-wee.
I had sweated my hair out.
Yes.
I looked like Umfufu. Like Goonie Goo Goo was what I was saying. And I really looked toe up after I pushed a human out of myself. And then, you know, I'm tired. You know, I'm resting. First of all, let's talk about that experience. Epidural. Yes, get it. I'm sorry for all
Get it.
y'all
All
natural.
Fires.
I
Right.
appreciate you. You are beautiful.
Everything, you feel everything. It's on fire.
And oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
without the epidural.
Yeah.
Yes.
They stopped the
Oh,
ring of
yeah.
fire.
So I'm not gonna say who, but somebody put in the epidural wrong and it slipped out my spine.
What?
All of a sudden, you know, I go from not being in pain to being in pain.
Oh.
So then they had to give me another one because it was on an IV drip. They'd give me another one, and I'm in the middle of a contraction. You want to talk about the stillest moment I have ever been in pain?
Ooh.
Sorry, microphone. Okay, go.
Oh my goodness.
Ooh.
Like this was,
It just bear down.
oh my God, because that needle is like an
Yeah.
arm.
It
It's
is.
like,
It is.
it can't be. Why does it have to be,
Why does it have to be so
the
big?
biggest needle you have ever seen
Right.
in your
I mean,
entire
in
life?
your whole
And they show
life.
it to you before
Right.
they put it in your
They
mouth.
put it on the tray. They bring
Right.
it in like
This
it's
is what we're
something.
torturing you with today.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Enjoy.
They roll it in.
It's
Right,
just-
right.
Like it has its own tray.
Yes. Oh.
Coming attractions, pain.
Yes.
So it was that. So they gave me the second epidural. I'm asleep because that laboring
You
thing.
out.
Oh yeah, it's
As you get bigger and bigger and your body's getting, you know, ready doing this natural thing, that crap hurts like hell. And for all of y'all who do it all natural, kudos to you.
Right.
I am a punk. Give me a pain.
But it's funny
killer.
because people do that as if they're going to get a reward after.
Right.
Well, push your baby
Or
out naturally.
an award. Like, this is presented to the person who didn't take the epidural.
Right.
In
You
the
don't
words
get
of
that
Karen
thing,
White,
okay.
I'm not your superwoman.
Well, you get a push
Um,
gift. Some of y'all got
No, but I'm
push
saying for not.
A push
Oh,
gift.
yeah.
without pill,
No.
pain pills.
So I thought I was gonna have childbirth like my mother. See, back in the day, they did these thing called blocks. So
Yes.
it's a different process, but literally she was numb from her waist down. I don't know the procedure, but she said it was called a block. So I'm thinking I'm gonna have the same thing. 'Cause, you know,
Yes. So
I-
you requested that?
no, I got the
What's the
epidural.
difference between the epidural? I was never.
I
raised
don't
down.
know.
I couldn't feel my toes.
I don't know. I don't know. I think it's a different type of procedure, but it's the
Oh.
same effect.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm, you know, resting, finally get some sleep, about to push this baby out at some point at 3 a.m. with some stupidity, because that's good. And
Yes.
all of a sudden I start feeling pain. So I wake up and I'm like, I see the nurse and I'm like, I'm feeling pain. She's like, oh yes, we turned the epidural off. I'm like, what?
What?
She's
Oh,
like,
something
that's why they
was
call it
wrong.
labor.
Oh.
If you could have heard the friendly words that came out of my mouth when she said that, I was like, this is not supposed to be torturous. Why did you turn it off? I can push. I don't need to. I don't care. It's my first baby. You tell me what it's pushing like, and I can push.
Because they want you to be able to feel something to be able to push. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
That was not told to me.
Mm-hmm.
That was not told to me. So here we are. We're in labor. I'm pushing. My mother's in the room looking like this. My husband's in the room filming it, and I'm just like looking at him like this. And baby comes out. I am screaming. Like, I'm not, this ain't like, this is, I'm
Did you
break the
have an
microphone.
episiotomy?
Yes,
Also?
oh yeah.
That too.
That's fine.
That too.
Dermaplast. This is a lifelong commitment to Dermaplast. You healed my haha, and I appreciate you so much because
Ooh-wee.
it was the only thing. It was that lanolin, I don't know, but it was, come on, that
Yeah.
hurts. Why you got, it's like, it's all my tender areas.
Right.
It's all the tender
Right.
areas, right?
All
So,
the nerves and the veins popping
I'm
out.
screaming. The same nurse who turned off the epidural was like, you're scaring the other patients. I'm like, I don't give a.
No, she didn't.
Yes, I did.
What? She said you scaring the other patients?
Because I'm screaming. Because I'm sorry, is childbirth supposed to be a quiet experience?
No.
When? Ever? Have
No.
you? See, but I'm a vocalist, so I'm using my
Right.
diaphragm and I'm really screaming. No, it wasn't pretty. It was like Alien. Kill me. Get this out.
Oh,
So, gave birth, all the tears, all the things, just joyous. I am whooped. Okay, now it's time to push out the placenta. I'm like, excuse me?
Right.
yeah,
What?
Yeah.
Push out.
No one ever tells you about
No.
that.
No one tells
Yeah.
you about the
That's
placenta.
right.
Push that out.
Yes.
Yes.
It's right after.
Yes.
And
But
I'm
it's-
just like,
but
I-
that doesn't hurt though, right?
it
does.
Oh, it does.
On,
hurt?
on the second child, I couldn't get it out. So they had to reach up and grab, pull it on out. And I was like,
Oh my God.
because I had just had the baby come out. It's a
Right.
little tender down there,
If
girl.
you didn't push the baby out, how did you have to push the placenta out?
I didn't. I didn't push mine
Yeah,
out.
You
Natural birth, they do.
Yeah.
You, with the C-section, they just take it.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
I had a C-section.
You had a C-section too?
Yeah,
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't have it.
pushed the
I didn't
child out.
experience pushing it out, but I
Yeah.
knew that other people do.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I
That
didn't
does
know
it
you pushed
naturally.
that out.
Yeah.
I didn't know you pushed
I
that
pushed
out.
Yeah, and I didn't know I was giving birth to twins, you know, because
That's
that's,
what it.
that's
That's
what
how
it felt like.
No, but that's how it feels.
Oh.
That's what it
when
feels,
push
'cause you-
that
you
placenta
like-
So,
out.
did you push it out on a contraction?
I don't think I was
I don't
having
think
any
you had
contractions
any- yeah.
anymore.
You just have to
You
push.
just gotta push.
Well, why does it hurt? Because it's still attached inside.
It hurts because there's something big again coming out of
Yeah.
that same
But I
area.
thought it was empty.
Oh,
No, it's full.
it's
It's
full
Like
and
the
it's
nutrients
big.
and blood.
Yeah.
It's like a big
It's
blob.
big.
It's a big old blob.
And you can keep those things.
Yes,
They say
people
you're
be
supposed to
freezing
eat
it
them,
and
they
Turn
big.
it into pills.
all that
turn it into
nonsense.
pills.
No.
'Cause it's supposed
Did
to
you
be
keep
super
yours?
That's some
Yes.
new age nonsense.
No.
You didn't blend it into a smoothie.
No, I did not want to
I think
have.
that phase is out now. I think a lot of people were doing that in like the 2010
Now it's
to
all stem
20,
cells.
and now
collecting
don't
the
nobody
stem
care about it.
cells
And they
from
collect
the
it for
blood.
stem cell
Yep.
stuff too.
From the
You're
fetal
right.
blood.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
To help people with spinal injuries and things like that.
Some
Yeah.
are saving their own just so they
Yeah.
have like their own little deposit of
Yeah,
goodness.
just in case you need it for
Something.
sickle cell or cancer or anything. I don't know about
Yes.
cancer, let me not speak. But yes, the cells. Yeah,
Yeah.
they keep it.
So after that
No,
whole
thank you.
experience, you decided you wanted to go for it again.
I mean,
That's because we crazy.
I love
Was
kids.
it the same thing? The
Oh,
second
it
go
was the morning sickness was less. See, my
Okay.
first child was a girl, so I think all that estrogen
Oh.
from her and me caused fibroids
Wasn't it-
too. Never had a fibroid in my
Oh.
life. I had a fibroid that infarcted, if that's the correct term, as I was pregnant with her. So they thought it was like, I was having some kind of other issue.
Mhm.
And I'm just writhing in pain,
I
can't
didn't
keep
even know
anything
that they could do
down.
that. And, the fibroids. I didn't know they could.
Yeah, they found it was a fibroid that was
It burst,
dying.
right?
No, it was dying because
Oh.
my daughter was taking its blood supply.
Mm.
So it was just causing pain, right? And what did they do? I feel like it was the same nurse. I think I was just blessed with the most wonderful nurse, and I love nurses. Nurses take care of my daddy every day.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
this hag,
They're not all the
wait,
same.
she's like, turn on your side. I'm like, why was it? Stab.
Mm.
Ah.
Right.
Wait, what was she doing?
She was stabbing me with some other painkiller that she could give me.
While you having birth?
No, I was like 6 months pregnant
Oh.
with my first child. All this fun stuff with the first child. I lost like 40 pounds when I was pregnant with her.
Oh, trying to help you with your sickness.
Yeah, with the fibroid,
With fibroid.
Oh.
which is now a little rock floating attached to something inside of my body because we never got it out. You know, good things that
So
you
many
know
good things.
that you don't really think about. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah,
And then you do, and then you go and you do it again.
I did.
Do
it
you
again.
forget? Like, do you forget all of that? Or you're just
No.
thinking this isn't going to happen the same way again?
Right, it can't happen twice. Oh
Right.
no, it didn't happen twice. So the morning sickness was a little less. It was about 6 months, up into 6 months. Lost weight with that one too. This time the epidural only worked on half my body. And I was not playing with these people. I was pushing. They're like, you can't push. It's like, I need to push.
Right.
And I pushed him out in his sack. I was pushing. I pushed. I feel like I pushed my rib cage out.
Wait, your water didn't break?
No.
Oh, my
I
daughter never
put-
He
broke.
was delivered in
Yeah,
his
But you can
sack.
push
Out.
that baby out in the sack.
Yes. And he caught
He can't
something.
slide down. in
Right.
the
So
sack.
he was in the NICU for like a minute. And
Oh,
Wait a minute.
Was he
came
early?
out of your body in his
yes.
sack, and then they popped it.
Yes.
Were you full term?
Oh yeah. I was induced on all my kids because my doctor thought that I was
Because it's
gonna
convenient.
be a diabetic and
Oh.
you know
That is
gestation.
so-
But that's
Risk.
I'm not high risk.
Did you
I'm
see him in
just
his
early.
sack? I'm still
Nah,
stuck
girl,
on
I
that.
couldn't see that. I didn't want to see that. I was scared
He
to
came
see.
in a bubble.
That's-
What's his name? You named him Bubble.
the boy in the bubble.
I would be calling him Bubble.
Oh my god.
But
Trauma.
there are so many crazy things, and when they tell you not to push, you have to push.
Right. It's like, you know, everything in my body is telling me
Yeah.
to get this thing out of
You
me.
have to push.
we can't relate. We like, what the time?
Well, because you guys had C-sections,
Yeah.
but even with Landon, they were
Had
doing the same thing
stitches.
to me.
No. I
Landon
was
came
chilling
so
right
fast that the doctor wasn't there. I wasn't even in the delivery room. I was still in labor.
Oh my God.
In the labor room, they were pushing me down the hallway.
And you were.
And I was
La, la, la.
screaming.
Exactly.
No,
Exactly.
I was screaming, and they're telling me, "Don't push, don't push." And I was like, "I have to."
Oh, your body just wants to push.
Yes,
Yes.
it's like a big bowel movement. Like
That is exactly
yes,
You can't
what
hold
it feels
it.
like.
you have to push. Landon came flying out. I didn't even know if anybody was down there to catch him. He came out like a football. And Martin, I think maybe I might have had Martin in the headlock
I was gonna say, Mark didn't go down there.
because I didn't have an epidural.
Ooh.
Because it happened
So
so
fast.
fast
Yeah.
that once the pain started kicking in and I said, okay, I'm ready now, it was too far.
Mhm.
I was dilated too much. And so the doctor wasn't there. Luckily, the nurse was down there to catch him
Oh my God.
because
Been on the
he
floor.
shot out. Yeah, he shot out just like a football. Martin said he came out peeing and
Came on.
he was peeing and had like his fist up, like the Black Power fist.
He's
And
super baby.
I had Martin in the headlock, and that
Why'd
was
you
all.
have it like you
Because-
That pain was unreal.
I couldn't help it. Maybe he was trying to hold me and comfort me as we're
And you were trying
being
to hold on to him and
rolled
just
down,
happened to be
and
his
I was
neck.
trying to hold, and you know, you just get what you can get, and yeah, it was that I didn't intentionally not have an epidural,
Right.
Because I was all for the drugs.
I heard that.
But it happened so fast
Mm-hmm.
that I couldn't. It was too late, and he wasn't waiting for anything. All that don't push.
Yeah, whatever.
No, I was screaming so much. There was a woman that came in. She thought she was in labor, and I saw her later. She said, "You know, I came in. I thought I was in labor, but then I heard you yelling when they were pushing you
She was
down."
like, I'm not like
I'm
that.
not like
and,
that.
and I figured I can go back home because I'm clearly
It's not that.
I'm like that.
I'm not in labor.
Look, there are some people who literally are so chill. My friend Emily, I called her. Yeah, I'm in the middle of labor. I'm like, girl, what are you doing talking to me on the phone?
Right.
Wait a minute, hold on, I'm having a contraction.
Yes.
Okay, I'm back. I'm like, okay, I
No.
gotta get off the phone because
No.
you making the rest of us just look like whatever. Like I would be screaming and cussing
That's
and all
how
that
I
stuff.
was the
Right.
first 2 times with the epidural.
Mm-hmm.
I was so cool. Like I would make a bet with Martin that I was gonna be so chill, and I would be, until that third one,
Yeah.
I was great. I was like every person that you've seen
Right.
on those movies and everything. It was so crazy. It took me totally out of character.
you didn't have your pearls on the clutch?
I did not.
That's
I probably would have ripped them off. But
Yeah.
it was like somebody had possessed my body and took over.
It's a whole
It was
other experience.
crazy.
And then my third kid was an emergency C-section.
Oh no.
So it's like each pregnancy, the
Was
delivery, it's like, what drama will it bring today?
And so why was it emergency?
My blood pressure was plummeting,
Oh,
and his heart rate with every contraction was
Mm.
elevating.
Mm.
And so my doctor's like, yeah, we just need to do this. I'm like, okay, let's go. So that's a whole new experience.
Wow.
We're going off and, all the surgery and 20 people in the room. Like,
Oh my
why is there 20
goodness.
people in the room? Like, everybody, here are my intestines.
Yeah,
Check it
it's
out.
so intimidating
They're so
too.
sexy.
All the people running
Right?
around, and I had double because they have a team for each baby.
See?
So it was like
my
so
And it's a
many people.
team too,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So we're in the room and everything's all sterile and blue. And I will never forget this moment in my life. So he's like, we're going to use the laser. I'm like, the laser? I'm like, I didn't think about it. Like, if I had choice, nah, don't use a laser. Just use a knife. I should have said that
Oh, is
because
that what they were doing? That's at Burnsville?
yes,
I didn't know.
Yes.
What happened? When they open you up, it's a
like a
Oh.
lightsaber.
laser that's
Oh.
Yes.
I didn't know that. So
Yes.
you just said
On
that.
your stomach?
Yeah.
Yes.
They didn't
And
do
it's-
that. They didn't do that for you.
So
it
they're
smells burnt.
Oh yeah.
William never said that that's what was going on.
He was probably traumatized.
Wait.
That's interesting.
So my husband at the time, he was like, he looked over the they have the whole blue wall,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I can't see my insides
I was
coming
trying
out.
to look. Yeah, I was trying
Right,
to
I
look.
was trying. I was like,
Do they give
what
you
is
the option?
happening?
Do they
No,
No.
yes, I had
No.
a mirror and I could see stuff around me, but the sheet, like she said, was up.
Yeah.
I was trying to see. Dustin was
He
trying to.
turned back
Look over
and
too.
looked at me. Smell that, huh? I was just like,
No.
Because do they take all of the stuff out?
yes,
Yeah.
they got to move it out
They
the
take
way.
everything.
Ooh.
William said,
The
like
organs?
your stomach,
Your intestines.
your intestines, everything is pulled out and put to the side, like
What?
Yes.
on a
Some of
platter.
your intestines was out.
I don't know, but he saw everything come out, and then they take the babies out, and then they put it all back in.
Yeah.
But it's
They take
wow.
the organs out?
Yeah.
They have to
It's
get to the
on
womb.
top
Yeah.
of
I
it.
did not know that.
It's on top
Yes.
of it.
Look at us giving a scientific information on Millie
That's right.
Wallace.
I'm a medical doctor.
I did
In my mind.
not know.
Yes.
I wanted
They
to-
Yeah,
take.
they take it
I
all
would
out.
like to see that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
I'm
think
cool.
they just move it out.
No, they take it
Nah.
out.
It's
It's
under
in the
there.
air.
Yeah.
Then they put it back all in.
And you imagine the gas that you have afterwards.
Ooh,
That's also something they didn't
wait.
know about.
I
Because when your
Oh,
body's
shit.
wide open,
Didn't it feel swishy? It felt like,
It felt moving around.
Yeah.
it was
everything felt swishy.
uncomfortable. And then they gave me cabbage.
Oh, that was a bad idea.
I had pain in my armpit, pain in my ankle, pain
Who
in
gave
my
that to
knee.
you? That's a
The
gas food.
the
The
cafeteria.
cafeteria people.
Oh,
I was like,
love
I
the
could
hospital
never.
food. That's my
Man.
favorite.
I normally love it too, but
See,
cabbage
like-
apparently after having all your insides out of you
Ooh.
and you had air in your
Ooh.
body just made
Let's
it
remember
worse.
turkey sandwiches.
Ooh.
Have the best food.
Fun times.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is that. Did you have hemorrhoids after?
Girl, have. Yeah. Too much information. Amen.
So the
there's that.
hemorrhoids. That's something nobody.
Have we ever had this conversation?
Listen.
Yeah, we have.
Listen.
Yeah. Dawn talked about her hemorrhoids when she was pregnant.
Did I talk about the hemorrhoids?
Yeah.
So listen. Oh, because Martin used to have a Doppler because I had a couple miscarriages. So when I was finally like that third time around, anytime something would happen, and if I was spotting, I would have him pull out the Doppler, check the heartbeat, all this crazy stuff. He was in medical school at the time. And so so I would see blood and think I'm miscarrying, but then I found out it was hemorrhoids. Okay, so that's probably what I shared before. But that is because Martin would say, Dawn, where's the blood coming from? That's TMI. You don't need to be asking me those questions. I don't care if you're in medical school or
Aren't
not.
you the doctor, the
Why
baby?
you- why
Like,
you-
why are you asking me that?
Why are you asking me? Am I sure? That's too much. So
That's because I'm clutching my pearls.
absolutely, like come on. is anything private and sacred? So
What?
this
As a
we're
doctor,
talking
I would have
about
spread it
hemorrhoids.
wide
No.
open.
Right
well,
now.
see,
What's down there?
listen.
Yeah. Look, can you look for me?
Right.
I have him look because I'm scared to look.
Right.
Well, I did have him look. So when I came home, so the episiotomy, right?
Yes.
That
Ooh.
for my daughter, who is still a little peanut, she popped out like a peanut. But my doctor is saying, "Oh, she's gonna be so big. Let me cut you wide open."
He cut before?
Yes.
Oh, that's horrible.
And Martin's eyes, when I saw his face,
He's like, I don't want to be
I
a doctor
knew
no more.
he was. He just said he didn't have to do you like that. He didn't have to do you like that.
How many stitches did you have to have?
Straight down.
Straight down.
How many
straight down.
stitches did you
I
have to
don't
have?
know.
I don't know.
I don't know, but it was so painful. The healing from that
Yeah.
was so painful. But I remember,
On the sexy
Because you don't-
mesh
we don't do that
underwear.
anymore.
You have to wear
oh
underwear.
my goodness.
You have the
I didn't
mesh
know about
underwear
that
that you
either.
wear, and you have this gigantic pad.
That's right.
literally from
And I
seed to
was
seed.
dummy me. I was like, why am I bleeding? I didn't deliver vaginally. It made no sense to me.
Because all that stuff is
Gotta
gonna
come
I didn't
out.
know. Nobody
It all-
told me that.
Right.
Yep.
It all still has to come
I was
out.
like, what is
Yeah.
this blood coming from?
But I remember when I felt something. I think maybe this was with the second baby, and I was home like recovering, and I felt something, and I asked Martin to come and look, and I said, "Is this from my incision? Because I have a episiotomy again." And he looked, so I'm leaning over the sink so he could look, and he said, "No, I think that's a hemorrhoid." And he said, "Would you like me to push it in for you?"
Yeah.
That is so nasty.
That is so romantic.
And I
That
said,
is real
And I
love.
said, "No, thank you."
I wonder what would
No,
happen
thank
if you pushed it in.
Well, you do have to push him in.
Or
Oh,
get it.
No,
cut
they
off.
just go away.
No, they don't.
No,
go
you
away.
can push
gotta
it
get
in.
them.
Like even now, like when they come, you can push
I
it
haven't
in.
heard that one before.
Really?
Okay. The
Yes,
next,
it looks like a pinto bean. You just push it in.
you hope it looks like a pinto bean.
Ooh.
Some look like a sabamelon.
Oh,
Wait a minute. Do you get them as you get middle age?
Well,
If you push too
if you
hard.
push too
yes.
hard.
But what
With
makes
the
you,
bowel
as you
movement,
get older?
when you, if you're constipated
Uh,
and you push too hard, then that's where you get them. That's how you get them. But I just
This is going to be
You
our
just-
highest rated.
you just gotta push it back
you
in.
just push it back in.
What about just using a little cream? Doesn't it go away with that?
Or just
but
time.
it's still hanging out your butt.
What? I said, well, I haven't had it that bad then.
It
I
is.
don't know about that.
Look, some of us just have friends in weird places.
But you know what I have been seeing lately at Target? I see people with like the Vagisil.
Yes,
Cream.
yes.
Why do a lot of middle-aged women need like anti-itch Vagisil?
Because they
Oh,
get
because they get
dry.
dry.
through
and that makes you
menopause.
itchy though?
I don't know. Maybe they're getting it on,
Probably.
girl.
Right? They might be getting.
But what
it.
brings them to itch?
when there's
Friction.
no and when there's no like lubrication, it like sticks or it doesn't move, and
Just-
then your skin can probably tear.
But without like sex.
Yeah,
it's still
it's dry. Yeah,
Yeah,
menopause is a
dry.
whole other bag of
So
bones.
dry makes it itchy.
Well,
Why?
as you
Because
walk,
it's still,
as you're walking.
there's nothing helping
Oh,
it
right.
to like move.
But
There's
you
no
don't walk around
lubrication.
with boys.
Well,
You walk around
dry.
You the one that walk around moist.
What
is
is
this
this
conversation
about?
I'm confused.
You're the only.
I don't
You're
get
just
it.
juicy regular.
Your body has like
Why
natural
do-
lubrication.
why
Your body
do-
has like natural lubrication. You don't walk around there dry and tacky like that.
Okay.
Because can you imagine the inside of your body being dry like a desert?
I'm talking about the outside. Oh, the anti-itch cream goes inside. No, it's
The
outside.
outside.
I
don't
just see
know.
a
I
lot
don't
of
know. I'm
people
not used
with
to
that
There are
at
some-
Target. And they're, you know, if you go down like the different aisles, there's a lot of older ladies with the Vagisil.
I haven't.
That's
pa-
for the
I haven't
outside?
paying attention to people's
I
back.
thought that was like a suppository thing, like because you have like some,
there's a bunch of stuff.
Like
I
a
mean,
yeast infection.
Yeah,
But what is the
Something
biggest
to talk
demographic for like Vagisil?
I don't know.
Women.
I don't know. I'm gonna look this up.
Look it up. I don't be looking at
Who
people's
uses
baskets.
Vagisil?
Are you like going down the aisle looking at people's
I just
basket
get
and judging them?
No, I was actually returning something. You know, me and my Target hauls. I was returning something and I noticed an older lady with Vagisil, and I was like, I wondered, like,
Why
that,
did you pick it up and read it?
is that a middle-aged thing? Is that something
Oh.
that's coming where you need anti-itch Vagisil?
Well, remember
Like,
when we
what
talked to
makes it
Dr.
itchy?
Tony about
The crystal.
menopause and all the other kind of stuff?
Oh.
Yeah,
but
that's
this was
probably
specifically
a
for
thing.
itch. So
Really?
I'm like, what?
I will tell you,
I don't
hemorrhoids are itchy. Hemorrhoids are itchy. I will tell you that.
You see grown people like sitting like this.
Right. It's itchy.
Looking like a dog just dragging his ass across the carpet.
Can you imagine again with the hemorrhoids?
It's
They're
itchy.
inside, and it's like it's probably
And
moist
it's itchy.
inside
And they
their
come
body.
out.
When they come out, it's
Come
dry.
out.
But if you
His
push it-
hair and
But
It's come
But
out
if
at
you
night.
push it in, it's not itchy.
if you push it in, it's not exposed and like
To the elements.
yeah,
Rough tissue paper.
all that stuff.
I never even heard of being pushed in.
What is this conversation?
Okay,
I'm sorry.
moving on.
Where do we
That
go?
is so funny. But this is
See?
stuff people don't know.
People don't know
Look.
because I didn't know.
I didn't
I
know hemorrhoids
I
were
didn't
itchy.
know. I
Oh,
didn't
no,
know
they're
anything. I didn't
itchy.
know anything about hemorrhoids. I didn't know anything.
I didn't think I would be a person that ever had one.
Right.
Like what?
I didn't know about the push it in. You know, Martin, any
I
opportunity
still
for
don't
him
know.
to be near my buttocks. You know, any opportunity. It doesn't matter.
I
if
can't
it's-
wait. Can
if
I
it's
be there when he
hemorrhoids.
watches this? I just want to watch and wait for this particular moment.
That's so funny. Poor
Any
Martin.
opportunity. But yeah, he doesn't mind pushing them.
Pushing him in.
Please.
That man loves him some
We
power.
have been together. This, you know what? Actually, this month. Are we in September already, or is this
No.
still
No,
August?
one more week, one more
When
week.
this airs, we will be in September. This September, this will be 30 years since
Oh,
we met.
Wow.
Since we met,
Nice.
and once we met, we've been together ever since, except for the few times I broke up with him. But anyway,
That's funny.
30 years.
I was about to say your anniversary's not in September, but
No,
You just had an anniversary, I thought.
I
Yeah.
had our wedding anniversary 23 years, but we've been together
I
for
love it.
30 years. And you know, a little side note, Martin, my husband, used to cut your now ex-husband, is very new,
Yes.
his hair in college.
Shut up.
Yes,
Oh, you just finding this
they
out.
are
That's funny.
fraternity brothers.
Oh.
And it's such a small world.
Yes.
My husband used to cut his hair when they were in college.
Okay, so how many years were you married?
Wait a minute, what's happening?
You know, is that me? I've
Yeah,
been hearing
something.
something, and it was Layla Hathaway, like a whole song.
Layla's
For
trying to save
all
me.
we know. See? Hey! Kathy's gonna have me as her background
We
singer.
will never meet again. No, I'm not.
Okay. See? She's like, that's enough. And cut.
I think it was like 23 years.
23 years.
That's
Your first
long.
relationship?
That's the only.
My first
the
marriage.
marriage?
Only.
Oh,
Only
wow.
marriage, yeah.
And you recently got divorced?
Yes.
So after 23 years of marriage, what makes a couple separate after so many years?
Girl.
Well,
I need a whole bar. Stuff. Going in different directions. You know, we grow. We continue to grow. We continue to learn. And we all got to grow together. And
That's interesting, growing together versus like growing apart.
yes.
Like, is there ever a time in 23 years, because that's not a short amount of
That's a
time,
long
No.
ass. That's a long
if
ass
you can get back on track with your growth and try to, realign things. Like,
Mhm.
I wonder if there's ever a time, not just with you, just with anyone, like, if you can get back on track and I guess, I don't know if it's seeing eye to eye or, like realigning your interest or realigning or resetting your relationship wherever you feel like it's like off track. I wonder if that was a thing that you ever thought about, or
I'm sure you've tried.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure you've tried
Oh,
all
yeah.
the
if,
things.
marriage counseling. I've been to marriage counseling. I'm divorced,
Same.
but it wasn't 23 years. It
Yeah.
was 5. So it was much shorter amount of time.
Right.
But just trying to realign the relationship, because 23 years.
It's a long time.
Yeah, it's a long time. Did you try to get it back on track?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Did it work for a little bit?
I mean,
because everybody, I guess, has to be on the same page and wanting it to be realigned.
Yes, and to be as safe and political and in the questioning of this with my children and maintaining a healthy relationship with my ex.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we come into the marriage with what we are and who we are. And we need to be sure that, you know, everyone's getting married for the right reasons. That there is no secrets. You know, spouse is supposed to be your best friends. You know, you got your girl and but you know, a really beautiful relationship is, you know, I'm best friends with my spouse.
Yeah.
Like, there's no secrets. There's no.
He'll push my hemorrhoids up in my
Oh
back.
my God! Yes, I don't know that I want anybody to push a hemorrhoid back up anything. But you know, Godspeed to him and his happiness and his wellness, and to me, because it's hard. No, it's been hard.
But you are one of those couples that are able to maintain a relationship. I still see him. I wouldn't even know that you were divorced because I still see him at all of the events. Sometimes I see him before I see you.
Yes.
And so that seems to be the new thing. I mean, if you think back to, I don't know if your parents were divorced or not, but I just think about folks weren't doing this polite co-parenting.
Yeah.
No.
It was ugly.
You know.
It was ugly.
Yeah, how did you manage that?
Like, how did you talk? Like, what was the conversation? Because some divorced folks, they don't even talk at all. It don't matter about the kids. It's like, let me speak to your mama, you know, or put your mama. It's ugly.
And was it a mutual decision between the both of you?
No, but the thing that we most care about are the kids. And you know, I was like, you know, Thanksgiving, that's a family thing. You were here, I'm there, whatever. Christmas, we want to have those moments still be those family moments. And at the end of the day, because it did not work between us, doesn't mean that, you know, there needs to be any kind of hostility, especially around the kids. So, you know, it's a sign of maturity on both of our parts.
Absolutely.
And actual effort, because, you know, we both remember when it wasn't so warm at that thing. And, you know, we got to just put that aside. Not, you know, pretend, because, you know, I loved this man.
Absolutely.
I had children with this man. And so he will always be a significant person in my life. But the changes and the situation was drastic for me. And so I needed what I needed.
Right. And that's incredible, though, to create such a wonderful environment for the kids, because, you know, they're going to grow, they're going to get married, they're going to have lives of their own. And it's so hard when the parents can't be in the same room or you know, it's so, and it's also very selfish, because it's like, you chose him as my daddy, and now all of a sudden you can't be in the same room.
You can't be around
But
him.
sometimes it's not always about being selfish. People change, you know, and not for the better. And sometimes in that change, you know, it's difficult to deal with people who are like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde type situation. That's difficult, because I went through that. It was not peachy keen like it ended up being. In the beginning, like I said, you guys, this is no secret, I had the police called on me. You know, I've thrown a drink in his face. Like, it was physical. It was nasty. It was.
You had to be whisked away in the middle of the night. I just learned that.
No.
Oh, didn't they come and like get you in the middle of the night, like take you?
No, she moved out.
I moved out.
Oh, that's okay.
And it was like early, like 12 o'clock in the morning.
I left 2 times. One time I left in the middle of the night, driving down the freeway, and just ended up turning around. And then another time I ended up leaving, but I left for good. But he had left me already. He had already was gone. I just left the house. He didn't know we were gone.
Right, but you did get to a point where
I did get to a point
the child
where
was first, and you were able to be
But
around each other.
and it's, to be quite honest, it wasn't even about putting the child first. It was about me. I'm tired of fighting. I'm mentally and physically exhausted with this type of relationship that you and I are having. I don't like you, I don't love you, but I also don't want to fight with you. I don't want to fight with you. I physically wanted like peace, and me having peace meant that my child was going to have peace.
Yeah.
But it was more so in that moment more about me and what I was totally mentally and physically exhausted with.
That makes sense.
So eventually it became about the kid. Later when I was like helping and assisting in the other part of that relationship, because I did need my son to know that we don't have to be together in order for us to be cordial, in order for us to be civil, and in order for me to show that we can be we can be friends, for lack of a better term.
And he was sick too.
And he ended up becoming sick, and so I the relationship ended up being more of one of I guess compassion is a word.
Yeah.
Just having compassion, not just for him, but also for my son, because my son was going through the sickness with his dad as well, because we were watching this.
Right.
So, I don't know why I got off on that tangent, but because I went through the same thing with you, and it wasn't so much about my son, but it was about me, because I needed it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
but hats off to parents who are able to co-parent in such a mature way.
Yeah.
How long have you been divorced?
2 years, going on 3.
Really?
So does that come with new dating, or what does that look like in your middle age?
Girl,
you're not remarried, right?
No, I am not remarried. I am not remarried. I'm not.
Are you single and ready to mingle?
I am single and ready to mingle.
How has that been?
I've been mingling.
Okay.
Okay.
And where does one meet men in our middle
Girl,
age?
that's the best question ever. Because who the hell knows? I remember getting, you remember going clubbing back in the day?
Yeah.
Remember Florentine Gardens? I'm dating myself right now. Florentine Gardens, where you could go and dance when you were 18. It was under 21 club, and you could just go there to dance and do all this stuff.
I was at the Century Club.
See, that was the other one, right? I went there once. I was like, yeah, this is not my speed. And these men look a little too old for me anyway. But, the places to meet people. I do not want to meet somebody online through an algorithm. I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So, I'm active in multiple churches. I am, do a lot of philanthropy.
They're just out and about.
I'm just out and about, and if it happens, it happens. And sometimes you meet somebody like, hey, okay, this is interesting, and it's happening in real life, in real time.
Yes.
What a concept!
But I can imagine people are drawn to your energy, and you're so. People are drawn to that.
Yeah.
People, it's always been a very interesting thing, because I sing, but when I sing, I mean I'm giving people, what's all up in here, and in here there's a whole lot of emotions. I got to be careful not to listen to what I'm singing sometimes, because it will hit me, and I'm like, okay, I'm getting emotional. I have boo-hooed like 3 times. Yolanda Adams, Still I Rise. I'm like, woman, that song, that part. Sometimes I get low, and I'm just like, it's like all of it just comes out. I like the light that I have. I like the person that I am. I'm not interested in hurting nobody, defaming anybody, speaking out against it. Like, who got time for that? Like, you know, we ain't got time for that either. But there's so much drama in everybody's individual lives.
Yeah.
So when you get an opportunity to shine some light, be a light. I've been saying that for a really long time, and I think maybe 10 years ago I was like, everybody has a purpose. Maybe this could be mine. And sometimes it just happens through osmosis, just naturally. I teach kids, elementary school age children, Title I schools, the poorest of the poor, and I'm teaching them music. And these kids come up to me, they are hugging me, they're high-fiving me, they always want me to sing to them, and I always sing to them. One time this little girl was like, I wish you were my mommy, and I'm like, like fighting back tears. I don't know what is going on in this little girl's life that she would even say that to me.
The kids pick up.
We hear that type of stuff too,
and you know,
educators.
Sometimes, and it's like you can't touch a kid, you can't hug them, you can't like do anything, you know.
Did you take your training?
Right, all the trainings in the world.
Days are over,
And you know, kids hugging me, I'm like, hi honey, how you doing? Superposition, I love you too. That's great. But you know, the kids, I spread a lot of light that way because I love music and I love what music has done for me. I came from a musical family, both sides of my family. My dad's side, my grandmother used to sing jazz in clubs back in the day. My grandfather on my mother's side was a classically trained baritone. And that man was,
wow.
Right? Like all that. Yes, I'm really a soprano. I'm kidding. I'm such a contralto right now, and I like it low. But I find so much joy. Like at the end of the day, I'm not like, whew, okay, I'm good. It's more like, all right, good, what do we do next time?
Yeah.
What's the next thing we can teach?
Yeah.
I'm teaching violin, percussion.
Really? I didn't know you did
You teach the
instruments
violin. Okay, where do you teach the musical instruments at?
I'm at various schools through LA Unified.
Okay.
Do you still want to play violin?
Yes, that's what I'm asking her. Do you play? Do you teach on the side?
Girl, I can get
coming up
you. See, I'm good at teaching at the elementary level.
Well, he's a beginner.
Now that's true. Well, I can get him started, but I also know who to move him to because I also work for the Youth Orchestra of Los Angeles, and we have some phenomenal African American violinists that you know always do private training and things like that. I mean, these I want to call them kids because I'm like the oldest person in the room, but these amazing musicians, like I'm just sitting there like. It takes a lot to wow me, like to leave me going like, damn,
wow,
you good.
Wow.
Now, do your kids play instruments?
My kids all sing. My daughter and my oldest son write and compose and produce music.
Okay.
My daughter is about to release something.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's
Is she somebody that we know or have heard of? Has she sang for anyone that we know or heard of?
No, she has
She's
not
on the come
sung.
up.
She she is a little bit in the business. She's a personal assistant to a recording artist, and so she's getting that vibe and getting that like I could do this too. You know, that's amazing. And a lot of this came through at COVID. COVID was the catalyst because what else you gonna do but create?
Sit around.
Right.
Now, do you
Think
think
about
that
what you
parents should force their kids to take
I don't
to
think
pick up an
anything.
Tiger moms.
Girl, I don't think anything should be forced.
Right.
I remember trying 18 different things. I used to fence. I mean, you want to talk about like some off the wall stuff.
Olympics
Fencing with my brother, and you know we had the protective ones with the head and everything.
Yeah.
You know, I got pictures. I look cool with the whole mask. And
Right.
I always just think they're gonna regret it. Like if they don't.
Right.
We tried piano for several of our kids, but they just weren't that interested. But I almost want to just say, okay, the piano teacher is coming because it's just fun to know.
Right. No, it is because music is a whole other language.
Yeah.
I mean, I talked about, you know, sus and, you know,
Right.
all that.
Right.
But music is a whole other language that can actually really benefit everybody.
Yeah.
Because
People
what do we
don't
hear
say
every
it
day?
again.
Right.
What is your doorbell? A bell. Okay.
Yeah.
From just really minute
Every
stuff.
day.
Your
Yeah.
phone. What does it ring? It's a
Right.
song. It's a
Yeah.
ringtone.
Yeah.
You're at school.
Just
you got
another
a bell
thing under
that
your
tells
belt.
you,
Yeah.
you know, what time you go to this. Music is ingrained in our lives in so many different,
Yeah.
really small ways, but
Yeah.
they're
Right.
there.
Yeah.
And when you get into culturally, we are a musical people.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people, that's really cool that I've been seeing, they have like just, you know, some random, they have an instrument somewhere in the house or various instruments like you guys do here. I have, my family room is in the middle of a conversion, but got a keyboard in there, a piano, I got a full drum kit, I've got violins, I've got marimbas and xylophones. I'm like, y'all wanna go in there and create? Go for it. And it's just there. And that's kind of what happened
That's fun.
over COVID. My son moved the piano into his room and was teaching himself Rachmaninoff. I was like, go ahead, big hands.
Wow.
I was like, because
Is
Rachmaninoff.
that Bubble?
No, yeah, it is Bubble.
That is
Oh my
Bubble,
God.
baby.
He's gonna be like, Mom, everyone's calling me Bubble. Big hands. And so he was just like, I was like, cleaning dishes. And I would hear that coming from my kids'
Yeah.
room.
So,
And literally, I'm standing there washing dishes, crying because I'm like,
yeah.
they got it. They got
You're like, you get it from your
They got
mama.
it. They got it. Get it from the daddy too. 'Cause Daddy's musical too.
Oh.
And he sings too. He's got like this beautiful lyric tenor voice. But it bit all of them. And my youngest is now going into modeling, and he sings. And this child,
He's such a cutie.
he's a mess. I love him. He is the most like me.
Oh yeah.
And so
That's
I
you.
have to go like, maybe I need to tone it down.
It's too late.
Maybe
It's too late.
I know, like whatever. Accept me for who I am, and that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know, doing what I do. I think, you know, we all have a purpose, and it's always been a thing about, do I want to sing professionally and really like do that? Because that requires touring and being away from my kids and, you know, doing all these things. And I was like, I want to be a mom more.
Yeah.
And so now that, you know, they're almost out of the house, now I'm doing stuff.
Yeah.
Now I'm doing stuff.
Yes.
I have the most amazing group of musician friends, and we going to start recording.
Oh,
So you have a band?
great.
I have a few bands.
Okay.
But,
where can we see you?
Girl, please, I'm working on that. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. But you're about to be seeing me on TikTok and Instagram, hopefully.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
That's
I'm gonna start dropping some stuff before I start sounding like this.
I know. Give us a little something. Give our listeners a little something.
Oh,
What you got
wow.
for us?
Ooh.
Ooh, okay. Now I gotta think. See,
Oh, you
One
can
of
make
my-
up a song.
What you sing today
in
at
a
church?
Second.
I sang a little Fred Hammond today.
Okay.
Ooh.
Give us something.
Upbeat or slow?
Give
It
our
was
listeners
slow.
something. We
It was
go
Ooh.
from California all the way to Africa to
Oh,
Colombia,
Oh,
What's the
Mexico.
upbeat Fred Hammond?
Yeah, give us something.
ooh.
You could do Fred Hammond, you could do John B. King.
You say
Oh,
after
my.
Oh,
that.
I can't do it.
She said no.
You could do Hezekiah, Yolanda.
Kim
Oh,
Burrell.
Oh,
I
wow.
get
You do
Kim
all of
Burrell
those
feels
things.
right.
And
Wine is Mark
and
Wine.
watch me do something.
Cece.
See, don't you hit Cece? See, I just sung her. 'Cause all my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so good. With every see, that's called menopause, Brian. When you can't remember the song that you literally
But we
just
get the
sung.
point.
Still
You can
beautiful.
sing.
Thank you.
Still
Thank
beautiful.
you
I
so
was like, oh my
Yes,
goodness.
still beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming and bringing your positive light to middle-aged mamas.
My pleasure.
Look for Kathy on TikTok and
All right.
and social
And
media coming
Instagram.
soon.
Coming soon.
Let us know. We will definitely shout you out. Thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with us.
Thank you for having me, ladies.
Amazing. You guys don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and catch us on the next episode. Bye.
Bye bye.